He hunted enemy fighters so aggressively, even his own commanders had to tell him to slow down. Francis Stanley Gabreski was born to Polish immigrant parents in Pennsylvania. Blue-collar, disciplined, and proud. English wasn't even his first language. But one thing came naturally to him from a young age: flight. He grew up watching aircraft cross the sky and knew, with absolute certainty, that one day he would be inside one of them. When World War II erupted, Gabreski wasn't chasing medals or glory. He was chasing a purpose. He joined the U.S. Army Air Forces and trained relentlessly, pushing himself beyond limits others respected but never crossed. His instructors noticed something unusual. Gabreski wasn't cautious. He was calculated, calm-focused, and once airborne, he became dangerous. By 1943, Gabreski was flying combat missions over Nazi-occupied Europe, escorting bombers deep into enemy territory where survival was never guaranteed. German fighters were aggressive, skilled, and experienced. The Luftwaffe didn't retreat easily, but Gabreski learned quickly. He studied German tactics, memorized their formations, and learned when to attack, and when to disappear into cloud cover. Flying the P-47 Thunderbolt, a massive, heavily armored fighter, Gabreski turned what many pilots considered a disadvantage into a weapon. He dove faster, hit harder, and climbed away before the enemy could respond. His kill count rose rapidly, and so did his reputation. Gabreski didn't wait for opportunity, he created it. While other pilots focused on bomber escort only, he hunted enemy aircraft on the ground, strafing airfields, destroying planes before they could even take off. It was high risk, high reward. One mistake meant instant death from flak or ground fire. But Gabreski believed aggression was survival. In the skies over Germany, France, and Poland, his Thunderbolt became a nightmare for the Luftwaffe. He attacked relentlessly, often flying multiple missions a day. By mid-1944, his score had climbed to 28 confirmed kills, making him the top American ace in the European theater. In July 1944, Gabreski made one decision that changed everything. During a low-level strafing run, he stayed too long. His aircraft clipped the ground and crashed inside enemy territory. Gabreski survived, but he was captured. For the rest of the war, he became a prisoner of war, held in German camps while his fellow pilots finished the fight. It nearly destroyed him. He wasn't afraid of death. He was afraid of not flying. When the war ended, Gabreski returned home a hero. But he wasn't done. Most heroes stop. Gabreski didn't. Many men would have retired, written books, lived off their legacy. Gabreski went back to flight training. When the Korean War erupted, he volunteered immediately. This time, the battlefield had changed. Jet engines replaced propellers, and dogfights happened at near supersonic speeds. Against Soviet-built MiG-15s flown by elite pilots, he proved something few ever could. Skill transcends technology. Ace in 2 wars over Korea, Gabreski shot down 6.5 enemy jets, becoming one of the very few pilots in history to be an ace in 2 completely different wars, propeller and jet age. He adapted instantly. Where others struggled, Gabreski thrived. He understood energy fighting, altitude control, and timing better than most men half his age. His leadership kept younger pilots alive, and his presence boosted morale across the squadron. He wasn't chasing numbers anymore, he was setting standards.
My fault.
Leadership without ego.
We fix it.
Despite his fame, Gabreski was humble. He didn't brag, he didn't exaggerate. Pilots trusted him because he flew exactly how he taught. He led from the front, always. When mistakes happened, he took responsibility. When victories came, he shared credit. That made him more than a fighter ace. It made him a commander pilots would follow into impossible odds. By the time Gabreski retired from the Air Force, his record stood unmatched. 34.5 confirmed kills across 2 wars, more than any other American pilot in history. But numbers don't explain his legend. His mindset does. Gabreski believed hesitation killed. He believed preparation saved lives. And he believed that when the moment came, you commit fully. Why Gabreski still matters. Modern U.S. fighter pilots still study Gabreski's combat philosophy. His name appears in training manuals, leadership courses, and aviation history classrooms. He represents a rare kind of warrior, adaptable, aggressive, disciplined, and fearless without recklessness. In an era of constant change, his story proves that mastery of fundamentals always wins. The man who dominated the sky twice, Francis Gabby Gabreski, didn't just fight wars, he mastered them. From Thunderbolts over Germany to Sabres over Korea, he owned the sky in 2 different generations of combat. He wasn't invincible, he was prepared. And when history needed an American pilot who could rise above fear, Gabby Gabreski answered twice.